Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It's Lori Pelzer with Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company. I want to welcome you in tonight. We are going to dive right in. We have a lot to cover. And I first want to graciously thank you for giving up just a little bit of your time. Um, I believe this is a very important moment. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be here. And I promise you that we're in a time that is asking for women to lead. And as a woman leader, I've been leading women for now 26 years. And for those of you who had an opportunity to join me in the Dream into Action Summit, which we just concluded about 9 days ago, 9 days ago, you will learn so much more about who I am and what I do in the world. But for a quick snippet, I want you to just get to know me a little bit, all right? And then we're going to dive into what the purpose is for tonight. We're going to set some intentions. First, we're going to get clear about why we're here, and we're going to set some intentions, and then we're going to do some work around realignment. And dreaming into action is the ultimate goal. So, Dream into Action Summit, again, just finished up. We have another encore happening in December. Our goal is to take Dream into Action on the road. We had an astounding amount of women who have been sharing with us, the kind of breakthroughs that I love to hear. I love some breakthroughs because I'm a girl from adversity to going all the way to greatness. So I love to hear when a woman overcomes her adversity to reach her dream, to then get some ideas of what that takes to build that dream and put it into action. And so for every woman who joined us from across the, UK, Canada, here in the US, of course, and Africa, we thank you. And we just are so excited, right? I'm a woman's woman. I'll never forget when I was at a conference and I was speaking to another speaker coach, and she said to me, Lori Pelzer, I've been around you for like 3 days now. And I can tell you that you truly are a woman's woman. And I never, ever, ever forgot it. And I received it. And I truly believe being a woman's woman allows me to do things that I'm doing tonight. This is a special session. It was something that I thought, and I said that earlier, that I needed to do. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think so. So Dream into Action is what we're on the journey for, right? To help you as a woman, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a corporate working woman, to move from that dreaming to that doing, right? If you got a project you've been working on far too long, if you got something in your heart that you just haven't gotten out, that idea, that vision, that aspiration, that goal, whatever that is, part of doing the work to get it there is a whole bunch of things. And you can go and look at some of those videos on the replays are still up on my YouTube channel. Some of you are here joining me on YouTube. Welcome in. Some of you are here from LinkedIn. You're watching me streaming from our business Facebook page, Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle page. Wherever you're joining us from, you may be coming directly in from the email list, wherever you're coming in from, or you may see this on the replay. I want to welcome you in. I'm Lori Pelzer. I said a lot before I even said my name again, right? I'm Lori Pelzer. I am the CEO of Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company. Welcome in, Girl Great. Now, see some of you who are on this screen, I can see you. I started this company, and it was a different name when I first started it in 2012. All this is going to make sense in a moment. 2012, but let's go back. 2008, I woke up one morning hungry, homeless, and hurtling, looking for what was next. We're getting ready to go to the next dimension with Dream into Action because we believe there is more to come, more to do, more to learn, more to unpack. And so many women are missing out on the big dream. And I can remember in that very moment believing my dream was dead. My dream was dead. I lost everything in the '08 crash. I felt something in '07. You know how you could feel something? Some of you are here tonight because you feel something right now. I felt something. And in feeling that something, I didn't really have a name for it at the time. And what just happened in the US election, which is one of the reasons that we've driven to the space, you felt something. You didn't have a name for it at the moment. But right now it's here. It's in our visual field. And in that moment, I was telling my husband in our office, sitting there, I could still see it. I could still feel it. And I said to my husband, I said, a lot of our files are getting put inside of the queue of possibly will get approved. We were the best at what we did. So most of our files got approved. That's not a brag. That's just because we learned our trade. So if our client couldn't get approved, then there's something we missed, but we don't miss it. We were the number one best real estate company in South Carolina. And our ratio of closing was about 99%. Very true. And if we miss something, we go back to fix that something and we get you back out there. If you truly wanted to get back out there, that's like dreaming into action. So I'm talking to one of my bankers who I've done many years of business with, and she and I are very close. She's a big banker, okay, not a broker. She just knows the business and well known, expert. And she says to me, we got a problem. Things are happening off Wall Street. And I'm like, yeah, I've been reading a little something. What's going on Wall Street? Just like this election, just the reason why we're here in this moment. So we can have a paradigm shift. So we can have a realignment so that you can get back to dreaming. And so you can get back to dreaming into action. So we couldn't anticipate all the challenges that were ahead, but something was happening. We didn't have a name for it. The language just couldn't be formed. And I hope tonight that I help each of you create new language right now. Have something to hold on to move you into action again. So it happened. Beginning in '08, the bottom fell out. For some of you, you remember it like yesterday. For some of you, you remember, you don't want to remember. I will never forget it because it directly affected me. Directly, like straight line. Everything we were was real estate. We had participated and you see, I closed my eyes. We had participated in changing the lives of hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people. We were on track to retire at 45 years old. We had amassed over $1 million of assets. We had money in the bank. We had people that we employed. We had touched the dream and we put it in action. It was different than just selling a house here and there. We had created a visual field. I want you to write that first word down. There was a visual field. We had an optic experience. Optic. We could see it. We could see the lives change. You know, whatever you've been working on, whatever you feel in this moment, whatever you've been experiencing in your life, if you could see it in an optic kind of experience, that means that it's so palatable, it's touchable. So our visual field was large. We had lots of people. We could see their lives change from the work we did. Some of you, girl greatness, in this moment, I'm going to say some things to you tonight. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I've been directed as a woman leader to give you insight on how you might do it. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to teach. I'm not here to warn. I'm here to warm you. I'm not here to browbeat. I'm here to hold a space for that beat down that you may be feeling, that you can feel better. Because see, as leaders, we got this thing in us. We got this thing, right? That very few people possess. No, everybody possesses it. Every woman I know has a leader in her. We just do it differently. Okay? So I'm also here to help you swing that thinking back open, that door, to swing it open. I'm here to help you reconcile. to realign, to construct what the situation really is, to understand the potential of what it really can be. So if you're here in the US, you're right in that direct, like that thing hit me in '08 and my family and left us homeless, hungry, hurtling around for what was next. And what was next was not pretty. My new book comes out 2025. I tried to push it for Christmas, but we'll be right at the first of the year. And it's been in the making for 20 years. This is the first book of many. But I'm so glad it took so long, because there were many pieces that book needed in order for it to change lives. You are here in a moment, a wrinkled face moment, an ugly moment, to change something in this moment. So if you're anticipating what I'm about to say next, you probably won't be able to trace me, but I do want you to sit with me. Why am I so great at this work I do? First, my first love was always empowering. So I always wanted to be a lawyer and a speaker, right? I didn't become a lawyer, but I sure do think I am sometimes. But I do trust lawyers sometimes. I became a motivational speaker at age 13. And for those of you who don't know my story, my uncle taught me how to become a great orator. It was probably one of the best gifts that I could have received from God, that my uncle helped cultivate in his very moments of not being lucid, battling through drug addictions. But he was a great orator, a writer, and an artist. So see, one of the ideas of building dreams, it can come out of anything. It can come back from anything. So let's take a positive appraisal tonight. It's another word I want you to write down. Positive appraisal. Now, I've said a lot of words already. I've used the optic experience, the visual field. I want you to take a positive reappraisal. Reappraise before the election of the US. Now, if you're in Canada, if you're in the UK or Africa, especially my sisters in the African continent, you are very aware of what it feels like for your government to shape your life, for it to just collapse at any moment, for there to be unrest, for there to be bloodshed. How many stories have come out of the African continent? Rwanda is one that comes to mind, just like right here. And I actually, for the first time in my life, met a woman at an event that I was speaking as a keynote called I Am Africa. That is a product, a child of family who were killed in the Rwanda massacre. And of course, Don Cheetah, an actor, plays that movie in that movie. And to watch that movie, so many of us feel like there is a genocide swinging our way. But I came to reframe some things for you. I stopped through to tell you, dream into action. I stopped through to tell you that there's high-powered benefits in hoping again. I came by to tell you this and to help you realign. I have a special guest that'll be joining me about 30 more minutes. So I'm going to do some getting us ready for some more work. So we're going to be here till about 10 p.m. I want you to do something for me. I want you to go text a few friends. Because see, you're not in this alone. You won't be able to manage this alone. You have a direct link to her, and she has a direct link to you. I have a direct link to you, and you have a direct link to me. And that's why we're here together in the first place. Because I heard you call me. Because I could simply have said and operated in this separatist energy. Hey, I'm pretty good. My husband gets a retirement check from the government. Okay. All right. All right. U.S. military. Okay. I'm self-employed. I don't go into the workplace of corporate America. I don't have to deal with the quote unquote. Okay. I'm good. My children are not in school, so I don't have to be concerned about what's going on there. Book bannings and moms for lit. I don't have to deal with them. I don't receive Medicaid or Medicare. Whoa. I don't get Social Security. I'm not an immigrant. Whoa, maybe I am. The foreground that I'm setting is it's easy to operate as separatist. It takes some digging within oneself to understand we're collective. And then there's something else happening in this moment. While my attention was brought to come before you to help you dream into action once again. I've seen it, I've heard it, and now it's confirmed. We as Black women in the US, we are having a conversation right now. This conversation is saying to us, we're tired. And we have decided that we're going to sit this one out. It's not just buzzing. You can go check it out. If you're anywhere in the world checking out your women movements, the movements of people and women that look like you and sound like you vividly, there are scenarios happening, conversations happening. I'm going to put everybody on halt just for a moment. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Vividly, we're hearing it, we're seeing it, and it's palatable. The message is clear that Black women who've been affected by this thing that just happened in the US that actually has global ramifications. So Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company is a business training and development company, and we work primarily with women of color, Black women. And we're expanding globally. And that's our 25, 26, 27 major goal. And we've been putting things into action. So what if in this moment, to construct this situation that we're in, that the election of the United States, where the most vile person could have taken the helm or will take the helm, stops my dreams. The situation interrupts all the effort I've put forth. Under his influence, the administration that he will form, one man reminds me of a man in the Bible, Herod. Under his influence, all hope is gone. My confidence level plummets. I start to think in terms of how, where, but now I won't even go that far. I will just be stuck in this hamster wheel, or I will do what I'm hearing. The buzz. The buzzword is we sitting this one out. That's y'all problem. I don't have a problem with that one. I understand it. Okay? I understand. Remember, we're setting the foundation here for us to get into this realignment. I understand it. 9 days ago, our lives shifted. This thing that happened. And in this moment, my mental state was slanted. Your mental state was slanted. Maybe it wasn't even the election. Maybe for you, you can put in place, it could have been a divorce that happened 9 days ago. It could have been any obstacle or adversary challenge that has you feeling a mental slant. I give you my thoughts, and my thought starts with rest if you will, my sister. Rest if you must. Take the rest that you need, but just don't surrender. Your dreams, they're far too important. The people that need them is far too important. If you're called to the world to do something, right in this moment, you will be challenged whether or not this calling is in fact a true calling. If you've accomplished everything you want to accomplish, every aspiration, every aspiration, these deeply held goals within you, visions, ideas, I understand. Let's go back to '08. I'm setting the foundation. I could have done just that, sat down. And for a period, I was sat down. I didn't volunteer because I didn't understand power in pause. So number 2, understand. You can pause. And if you feel that that is your way to recover, pause. There's power in it. I didn't understand that. I've been running my whole life, running after success. But really, when I got more perspective, I was trying to outrun failure versus running to success. So maybe this moment has more in depth than you think. Understanding. The universe is intelligent. The heavens are wise. It knows what it's doing. We underestimate this moment. That's my perspective, number 3. So in this moment where we might see something black and white, it may honestly not be that. How about black and white pictures actually can look gray? They can look stoic. They can look any way that the creative mind sees it. That's why some people love black and white images. So this is not just a black and white thing. I want to honor this before I move forward. The dramatic swing of things that affected the U.S. with the election of Donald J. Trump has shifted my sisters in a way that has truly concerned me on a deep level. Not that I didn't think we were strong and powerful and brilliant and black girl magic. I knew we were tired. I knew we had gained weight because we've been stressed, our cortisols. I've gained weight from menopause. I knew we have gone into the corporate environments, trying to figure out when we're going to bust a move, when we're going to actually go and get out of here, retire early, get our money. I knew we were moving abroad. I know several women that live abroad, women I've met in the coaching industry, the speaking industry. I know some women who actually live abroad. I know 5 off the top of my head, fingers. And I've gone to their pages and said a little something to eat, just seeing what they're saying and how they're saying it. I understand that we as Black women, and research shows this, we have difficult jobs. We have to perform at a higher level. Even as a business entrepreneur, who when the pandemic happened, they wasn't giving money to Black women entrepreneurs. We're not talking about a $20,000, here you go. We're talking $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. I sat with women at lunch talking about how we're going to get what we deserve. I was banking with Chase Bank at the time. I moved from Chase Bank to PNC because guess what? They didn't want to give us any money, but the money is available as long as you got your stuff together. And it wasn't much that you had to do other than show your business, show your revenue, show your employees, so forth and so on. But they were blocking. Right now, we're in another block. This one is greater than any block. This one, like COVID, it's a killer. Like an administration that comes in and swings the door open and you're not counted. So this valuable dimension we were operating in, I got to question it. And I started questioning, were we really? So here's where we stand. This thing that happened, was this thing the tipping point? So I want everybody to get ready to learn now, really learn. The tipping point. Was this the tipping point? I want you to get that book. If you can't find the book, get the audio. I've read The Tipping Point and I've listened to the audio a number of times. Because when I lost all in '08, I had to find a new framework in order to not just get back up again, but to reframe my existence, realign my nervous system. I was angry. I'm a girl that grew up in the projects. I got a lot of energy about succeeding. And if anybody, anything gets in my way, I mean, you got to move. I'm just not the one to stay quiet on the job. I actually sued my job when I was a nurse and won. Yeah, I'm the one that reads the handbooks at work. Lori, what are you saying? I'm saying that I don't quit. I'm saying that I'm just not one of those people, but I understand the need for rest. I understand. Now, a matter of fact, I understand more than I've ever understood. So I overstand. I just bulldoze through it. The emotions, the feelings. I didn't sit with it. Because right now you're looking for answers. You're looking for solutions. You're looking for, instead of just saying, go past the limits, the obstacles and challenges, you're saying, hey, Lori, I feel lost. I feel fear. Can you give me something? Can you help me? Because I've been where you are. And now I'm simply put in a posture where I can help you with the positive reappraisal. How does that sound? Somebody tell me a little bit how that sounds really quick. Because here's the deal. I wrote this and I said this in the Dream into Action Summit. What story are we as women, as Black women in this moment, what story are we willing to tell? Are we willing to tell that Donald Trump? Are we willing to tell global crises? Are we willing to tell the upheaval of everything we thought we were going to get and do and feel with the Kamala Harris and Tim Walz administration? Are we saying on a global level, if we're in Africa, we're in UK, because all of them are talking. You got to go check out some of the global news. Democracy Now! Is a great place to check out news. Are we saying that we're just going to go quietly in the night? Or are we saying we'll just rest for a moment? Hope. It is a high-powered benefit. What story of hope will we tell ourselves in this moment? I submit to you, you're being asked to go back. I submit to you, it's a trick. I submit to you, it's a setup. I submit to you, it is truly one that comes to steal, kill, and truly destroy. My understanding of this moment is for you to rest, my sister, as I've said 3 times already, but do not surrender. My submission to you is to consider that you will need to be more vigilant in your dreams, in the work you're called to do than ever before. You'll need to finish projects. You'll need to get your team in place. You'll need to do something. As Michelle Obama said, do something. You'll need to call on your ancestors. You'll need to do that research. You'll need to go back to the Reconstruction period. You'll need to go back. You'll need to study wars globally. You'll need to understand what time this is. You'll need to understand that this was, what if it wasn't just an election that was won by the most vile programming? I had to watch myself because I ain't had that written on my notes. The most vile programming. Or what if it was the tipping point for you to do something? There you go. I could stop right there. I came by to submit to you this. Maybe this is the new earth that Dr. Stephanie talked about in the Dream into Action Summit that you'll have to operate in. Maybe that's a new code and you won't be able to get through the gate unless you figure out the code or you go get set up. Maybe this is the moment that your consulting business booms or you go create that new thing you've been talking about for on and on and on. Maybe this is the horror movie to help you lose a little sleep so you can get up, drink some water, figure out why you're having these bad dreams because of that one movie you watched. Or maybe it was a trigger. The trigger is this. Maybe you have not resolved the things within you as you've been traveling this journey. As a woman, I find this complex. As yummy and nurturing and beautiful and brilliant as we are, our Black girl magic, versus our what? Black girl mess. Maybe your magic is on hold and your mess is asking for some attention. Maybe this election is a trigger for us to see where we really are. Because I know I've been over here checking my stuff twice and I got like a list of things I've been working on. Maybe the old version of you needs to be recalibrated. As I said, a paradigm shift in your perspective of life. Maybe you're not as far along as you thought. Maybe you don't have enough money put up in any particular source, and that fears you more than anything. If I know a woman, I know that we are directly linked. Our confidence is directly linked to how we are economically stable. It brings us the most sickness. It brings us the most effort. It brings us the most of the everything, the mostest, as we can say. It makes us marry the wrong person. It makes us take on the wrong job. It makes us accept the wrong client. It makes us just lose our mind because we are so built to be cared for. It's spiritual as we care for others. What if this was a trigger for you to see where you are in this moment in time? While all the things that are going to happen, all the things that are planned to happen, how do we really know how this thing gonna go? How do we know? I got some theories. There's no way one man can promise all these elaborate things and not have debacles, when in fact, if it's all wrong, bring your attention to the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that administration, the thing that is shaking up America. I mean, you got articles being written about Trudeau, the prime minister in Canada, how his relationship with the U.S. incoming president. You got people saying sorry, and he's already saying nasty things to old acquaintances and threats flying left and right. It's all a matter of how we see this disruption. It's going to get ugly, absolutely. But here's what I know. The old version of you won't be able to stand it. The old version of you won't be able to do it. You're going to have to change something. So let's talk about hope a little bit. There's benefits in hope. And when we talk positive reappraisal, we talk about looking at it this way. An abrupt thing happens and it's right there in your face, and let's put it like this, and it's like so vivid. It's such a scenario that could send you just off the deep end because you have nowhere to go. You don't know where to land. But positive reappraisal says that in this abrupt thing, if you just stop, take deep breaths, take some naps. I'm just throwing these grounding things in there because you could just stop right in the moment and make a decision like you do when you have to reverse your car. When you see you headed toward a dead end, oh man, I just got to this dead end. Oh, and it's dark and you just went the wrong direction and you got to reverse that thing real quick and you pull that thing back and jack that car and get out of there. Maybe that's what you got to do right now. Maybe you got to be more conscious, number one. Consciousness has layers to it. It has layers to it. There's levels of consciousness. And a lot of humans, we're operating collectively on a level 1 and 2 consciousness. One of the consciousness that Dr. Michael Beckwith speaks of, he speaks of the 7 layers and levels of consciousness. And on level 1 and 2, Dr. Michael Beckwith says that this is where you're really just concerned about how you're going to exist in the world. I'm paraphrasing and putting my words on it because I've studied these layers of consciousness and these levels many times and taught on them many times. You're really just right there trying to survive. day to day, how you're going to get by, what's really going on, what's wrong. What's wrong always seems to attract you. At the Dream into Action Summit, we talked about one of the ways to get your dreams into action, right? Conscious awareness. It's how you feel. It's how you feel. And it's more, we talked about internal, the non-tangible, and the tangible. And a lot of this is based upon feelings because we have never picked cotton. We have not been enslaved in chains and shackles. We have not been beat with a slash. We have not had the massa rape us or take our bodies. We have not been in that moment in time. So for us, it is this feeling that we're having. So we got to have an abrupt reappraisal of really, is this time coming back to have a conversation with us? Is this time a trigger for us? And it's a colloquial or it's a metaphor, or is it metaphoric that we really think this is possible? Because we never, ever, 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 ever came past it in the first place. We never reconciled or realigned that we're descendants of slaves. And this thing really did happen. We've spoke about it. We've learned about it. But have we truly given it credence? Have we truly given it a place in us to understand that it did happen to my great-great-grandmama, her mother? And that we got to reframe. Because what happens is we will create dis-ease, and disease will actually take over our bodies in this moment. There will be women to die from this. And I'm talking to Black woman who believed in democracy all across the globe. Her dying could be slow. She first becomes panic, filled with anxiety, panic, starts to pull back, antisocial, starts to say, I don't need community any longer. I'm not going to any type of event. I'm not going to church. I'm not going to conferences. I'm not going to the doctor. I don't trust the doctor. You start to have these non-trusting thoughts. I just went to my doctor. She's Indian. My previous doctor was African. And the only reason I shifted is because my insurance is paying 100%. And I didn't want to shift because I loved my previous doctor. I've had a couple different doctors, but I trust one thing, that I'm here for a purpose. Your confidence level in this moment will be tested. Your hope in this moment will be tested. So let's go a little further in this. So if we talk about reappraisal and we go back to consciousness, it means to deliberately switch your levels, the way I'm teaching it. So I want you to think conscious level 5 and above. Leave 4, 3, 2, 1, where is it? So I want you to go do some research on Dr. Michael Beckwith, 7 levels of consciousness, maybe 6 out there, but 7. I want you to start thinking that I got to get my consciousness awareness up 5 and above. And 5 is still saying that you're somewhat underestimating your ability, but you're getting the drift. You're getting ready to get into practice. That's why many of you are here with me tonight. And for those who are looking at the replay, tomorrow we will be launching this incredible tool called the Dream into Action Box. Some of you came to the Dream into Action Summit and you rating on the box. We're going to give you a code. We're going to put it on the screen where you're going to click the link and just fill out the form. The form puts you into our email community. You can opt out later if you don't like what we're saying over there. But that form allows you to get an email tomorrow when we open up the registration page for you to get your pre-order. These orders will be starting to go out the end of November, first week of December. You'll have this box. Beautiful pillows. I shared a little bit about the box and kind of the pillows that come in these sashes. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the box before we leave, and I'm going to show you the box. The Dream into Action is a movement. And I didn't really know that we were going to need this much breakthrough. I thought it would just be a great addition to help women really get these dreams, dust them off, these ideas, these visions, these aspirations completed. Some of the tools in the box are programs that I've created. You get to get virtual programs, and you get to choose 2 price points, whether you want to work with me one-to-one. My average dollar to work with me is, high dollar. But what I've done in this moment, because I understand the time, I've given you an opportunity to work with me as a coach for a different dollar. It's going to be a phenomenal. So you get to have me as a coach in the box to attend a live session or 2 with me. And then you get to get all of the stuff I've already created. And then you get to get the rest of the stuff to help you get that dream into action. So I'll be talking more about that. So what if we could interrupt this destructive thought that some women are experiencing right now? Because when the scenario hit and I was sitting on my couch and I saw red, 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 I was alarmed. I was sitting here, not in here, downstairs on my couch, and my husband had gone to bed. He's been traveling through a major journey, fighting to save his limb from an amputation, and then he had another wound show up, and we've been in this process for almost 2 years. So he went to bed early, and I was down there by myself, my daughter and granddaughter. My daughter Jessica is operations manager for Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company. You get to meet her. She handles all the things that are logistic and the management of the company. And then you'll meet Kamathi. She's our customer service. We'll be taking you through the journey if you decide to get Box B, which comes with live coaching with me. And that's a $399 commitment. That's it. And then if you get the box with all the virtual, but don't come live with me, that's $199. And we are so excited about what we're giving you in this box. So Kamathi was, everybody was asleep but me. And I'm just feeling like I'm in this amazing moment, but I'm in a dramatic shift. A dramatic shift started to happen. And I couldn't really tap into positive reappraisal at the moment, which is the same, it's sort of like thinking like, just think positive, just think positive. And I underestimated what was really going on. And what was really going on was a woman of color, a Black woman, Jamaican, dad, Indian, Asian mix. It's just everything we want in a woman to be the next president of these United States, to build relationships abroad. She was talking about in one of the interviews with Roland Martin about what she's been doing on the continent of Africa and this transference of tech money, changing the game. I was so excited because we're doing work in Africa. We have a team in Africa. And I thought, this is the big picture. I'm ready. How she was going to help entrepreneurs and help the working class. And that's been an agenda for the democracy, should have always believed that. But what was interesting is I could feel all the adversity every time I saw red. The states just called for this thing. Then I started to hear a buzz. A lot of Black America voted. Over 21%, both men and women, voted for that vow programming. And the reason I call it vow, because if you're about conservative views, if you understand rule of law, if you understand the family, then you understand certain things that have happened in their journey of presenting their case to the American people, global relationships, then that would have been a no-go. So I beg to differ. I'm conservative. I believe in people working. I believe, and I know many people like me who believe, but democracy has to be there. Freedom to choose, freedom to be. That's why we're here right now in this moment. I want you to have your freedom back. We're in the new earth, and the new earth is calling for something. So 180-degree change will be required. You ever seen a movie about climate shifts? There's one that I've watched a couple of times. It's called The Day After Tomorrow. And it is about a it's about a climate shift. And that climate shift was set to turn the earth rim back into the ice ages. It's a powerful movie. And I promise you what was interesting about the movie was how people reacted, how people didn't react. So we're in a time, you the people, us the people, the women, the Black women, how will we react? What was also interesting in the movie is how after all of the storms, the anonymity, how many people died, hundreds of millions, but some survived. There was literally people who survived water literally coming up past buildings that are 50, 60 feet in the air, that the ocean just took over. What are you saying, Lori? This could be an ocean takeover. But are you going to be one of the few people that stand and survive? Because you have the will and you have a reason. I raise my hand. The other interesting thing is after the storm, there was days later, and everyone who survived and the military was picking people up all across the U.S. in other countries, rescue missions of the people that did survive, and some of the military that did survive. It was a new earth forming. And in that new earth that was forming, there was going to be a new code. And one of those codes is respect Mother Earth. So, Lori, what are you saying? This is a Mother Earth moment? Well, I'm saying 180-degree shift has occurred. Could it possibly be? And could it be that maybe your triggers, your inability to have dealt with some of the things in your own life, your understanding of what's happening with you, maybe you've been tired. Maybe you've been fed up to construct your own situation at hand. Maybe you've already been on the edge. Maybe you've been already feeling angry about the ugliness. Maybe this was just a tipping point. So in order to bring you back into focus tonight, me and my special guest, we're going to do something to help you realign. And simply put, positive reappraisal creates a space for optimism. And when you create a space for optimism, what you're essentially doing is you're giving yourself a permission to dream again, to get back in motion. So I was thinking, what can I create in this moment besides what I already have in the world? I thought about maybe I need to put a political arm together for Black women entrepreneur, political coalition, because I believe we weren't really talked about. And we really, truly need to be and have a voice. I said, do I need to know more lobbyists? I need to get more involved. I was always involved in political understanding. Many of us say we're not political. You are political. You're political when your street light goes out and it's out for too long and your tax dollars paid for it. You're going to call the city, the county, somewhere. You're political when you have a daughter, son, or a stepchild, or a niece or nephew, and it goes really bad in school, and it is wrong. It goes against principles and policies and procedures, and you show up to challenge that. That's political. You're political when you go to the hospital. All of these are tax dollar mandates that things must run a certain way. So government plays a big part. When did government, why was government formed? Why was Social Security formed in the first place? Go back and do your history. Go check it out. Why is there was the age limit moved for Social Security? Why is there Medicaid? Why is there Medicare? There's a reason. Why is there Obamacare in Africa? What is it that they need the most? They need some things. Their government has changed the trajectory of the way they live. So as a woman, in closing on this part, instead of us thinking limits and thinking loss, could we think a little bit more? Could we think a little bit more open? What if we thought, and I don't want to miss this note because I wrote it down. What if we thought about a space to process all of this? What if we thought about an opportunity to process all this? This is that opportunity. Dream into action is now about to go in a new dimension, all because we see the need. Now we got to talk a little bit more about a little bit more, teach a little bit more, unpack a little bit more. I welcome you into compassion with me, holding me, and I'll hold you compassionately right now. I understand when our triggers show up, the trigger of, do I have enough to weather through this next 4 years of tyranny? But perspective, a space of unity, a space of healing. And I know that many women are going to struggle with the next thing I'm going to say. Growth requires you to stay in action. I encourage you to ground. Find you a space to ground. So I said, then I need to create, because we're working on moving our group off of Facebook and moving it into called Circle or Slack. And we're trying to decide on which one. So we can have what is called open houses. So you can get me once a week so we can help in the empowerment side of things to help you stay purposeful in intentions, setting intentions to get the work done. Even though we focus on women entrepreneurs, we believe in women and we believe in the state of women. And we believe that if we continue to do this work in an encouragement, empowerment way, then what happens is the ground shifts beyond under you and it shifts in your favor. Unlike me, was homeless and hungry and from one place to another place to another place before we finally landed, me and my husband, in a safe space where I had to get my daughter to help sign for our first apartment. I had not lived in an apartment since I was in the early 20s after I got out of the military. So I didn't know what that even looked like. Talking about feeling all of the feelings. So I want to acknowledge your story. I want to acknowledge your emotion in the storm. But something tells me that if you reframe and you don't underestimate or overestimate this moment, you can really truly find your way through it. Get in community. Girl Go Be Great will be opening up our new community. We're currently on Facebook right now with the community, and you can find us there, Girl Go Be Great. And you just go to my page, Lori Pelzer. It'll show you the group and just ask for permission to get in, and we'll let you in. We're going to be talking over there. When there's a big storm, it demands for realignment. I mean, one like in the movie. Nobody could fight it. You could only find your way through it. It's valid to feel overwhelmed right now. It's valid to feel anticipate what may be next. But what is not, it is not enough to just go in hiding. To go down in that space where you deliberately switch off. If you're a school teacher, you're going to be needed. If you haven't read Project 25, you're going to be needed. If you're an entrepreneur, expansion is right here available to you. If you have been participating in corporate structures, you're going to be needed. If you've been ready to shift jobs and there's a better company, there's a better promise, there's a better idea than the VOW programming that's about to take place, then you need to shift. You need to prepare for the shift. So acknowledge your heaviness, acknowledge your anxiety, but what we're going to have to do is realign. You're not going to be able to become, a woman addicted to drugs, start drinking too much, start having pills in your purse because this vivid scenario of what's about to happen globally. You're going to have to buckle down with the uncertainty and use community. And that's what the women before us did. And I hear the stories. I've seen it online because I'm heavily online. I see women saying, I'm not my ancestors. I'm in my soft girl era. I'm resting for a minute. I'm putting my feet up. Well, if that works for you, but if all of us do that, that I can tell you how this picture gonna turn out, because we are our sister's keeper. So I submit to you that in this new earth, that we find a new way to exist. And in doing that, we're going to do something to help you realign. A lot of us have never used some of these mantras or grounding techniques. And I want to offer my guest to come in. I don't know if she's here yet, because the universe is intelligent. So let's move to the final phase. There she is. The universe is intelligent. So the heavens are wise. So when we embrace the unknown, what we have to do, because this will be the unknown, when we embrace it, we resolve within us what remains unresolved. Everybody catch that? We embrace the unknown. When we resolve it within us, what remains unresolved will become resolved. For me, I'm feeling in this moment. I'm not just, flying by it. I want to feel, what is my next move? What new version of me needs to exist? I don't want to be out there perpetrating for social media. I want to lead women with balance. I want to navigate as a leader. I want you to navigate as a woman leader, because I know that's what you are. I want to illuminate both, right? I don't want to perpetuate the pain, but I don't want to also act like it's not there. I'm not quitting. I'm not kicking back. I'm not putting my feet up. I'm not ignoring. I'm ready to do something. My daughter and I have been talking about our girls group that we're starting for young girls. And I grew up in a really tough way. And all I want to be able to do for girls to be able to come to a safe space. Right now, when mamas start to fall apart and daddies are gone, who can you imagine? My sister, your voice, if it's shaky, find community. If you just breeze by me on this internet highway, you don't know me, you don't know what I'm about, don't even stop to research me. I'm solid. I'm a woman's woman. I believe our defective intelligence, before we go into this moment, 2 more things I want you to know. I believe our defective intelligence is trying to beat out universal intelligence. Universal intelligence tells us this was planned. This was set for a set time as this. Tipping point. It showed itself. As shocked as we may be, our intelligence is demanding transformation, is demanding healing, is demanding realignment. And it ain't asking for us to fake it till we make it. That is not one of the laws of attraction. That's the law of getting it done no matter what. Getting through it how I can. And that ain't working for us. So what we're really saying, before we go into the understanding of how we're going to realign in our last few minutes, I'm saying that maybe, just maybe, you had things unresolved in you prior to this big, huge, undecisive, vow, broken, unbelievable moment that shift and changed everything in you. Maybe it just woke you up, that you may realize, I don't have a mate to depend on to help me get through the monthly bills. I am struggling with understanding how I'm going to work through more of this drama on this corporate job that I was supposed to leave. I should have already retired. Why am I back doing this? I don't want to do this. Oh, I do have a son living in my basement. That's what they claim. That's why people voted that way, which I beg to differ. Most Black women in America, we don't have our sons in our we just don't. If they have to come back home, that's one thing. But we're not built to surrender. Our ancestors are asking us. I illuminate her in this moment. Fannie Lou Hamer, I illuminate her in this moment. We often talk about Harriet Tubman freeing the slaves. Do you understand that she had to go in the dark? And it wasn't just dark, it was pitch black. And she could not read. She couldn't read. So there was no map. There was no GPS. And I know these things feel like, Lori, come on. You're doing too much. I'm not. I'm doing exactly what this moment calls for. A realignment will cause for you to take a look at the past and see where history spoke to us. Then go inside of this experience where we get more insight. So right now, I want to introduce you to a concept, and then Erica's going to come in with me, and she's going to give you her portion. I want to introduce you to a concept called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I know that was a lot. Ho with a little hyphen, accent and goop over the O. O-P-O. So Ho'opono. Ho'oponopono. To make it quick. This is a Hawaiian mantra. It's also a Hawaiian technique that was discovered by a doctor named Dr. Hugh Lin. I wish I could have met Dr. Hugh Lin, but I met some people who actually met Dr. Hugh Lin in the circle that I've been, in my walk through as a top level coach and speaker, global leader. And I've been privileged to be in a few rooms that sometimes blow my mind. How did I get here? Don't you want to dream into action in a new room and then wake up and ask, how did you get here? This is that kind of moment when there's chaos and disruption. That is when there is possibilities, magical moments. Dr. Hugh Lin discovered something that was in his sphere all along. And it was Hawaiian. He was Hawaiian. And he studied this ancient meditation, this ancient technique that would heal. It is said that Dr. Hugh Lin healed the criminally insane by making 4 statements. And he made these statements in repetition over and over and over and over. Dr. Vitale, for those of you who don't know him, go research him, Vitale. Dr. Vitale is one of the people that have taken Dr. Hugh Lin's work and put it into the earth realm that we really can use it and understand it. Those of us who teach transformative ideas and help people, like I work with women business owners, but we have to first realign a lot of times because you may be holding fear in your body. You may be holding lack of worthiness in your body, feeling not worthy. You may be holding some type of childhood trauma, which is stopping you from making the money. You may have heard money messages that don't align. So I can go on and on. It's why the great business coaches, we are transformational experts also. We're trained to do that. Not that we're therapists, but we pretty much hold our own. If you need a therapist for expansion of getting the work done within you, then we need to say that's what you need. But the work of transformation requires us to learn these type of techniques. So it's about healing and reconciliation and realignment. So if your nervous system has been feeling unaligned, if you've been feeling, all these things we've talked about, where the earth has to realign after these anomalies of storms, we just had storms here in the U.S., then I want you to think your body in this very moment can realign just like that. I want you to write down 4 statements, and I'm going to give you an assignment. We're not going to practice it tonight, but what we are going to do, I'm going to tell you what to do. So these are 4 statements. I want you to write them down. I'm sorry. Very simple. I'm sorry. Next statement. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Very easy. Thank you. Next statement. Thank you. Next statement. I love you. Apartheid, if you studied it and you understood what happened in apartheid and you understood what happened after, you will understand they used soccer. Soccer healed their land. I'm talking about the most egregious things happen. And they had the reconciliation board that had people come and say not these words, but they did say these words. I've watched some old documentaries. It's phenomenal to watch healing at that level. You're going to need to forgive white supremacy in this moment. I waited to the end to say it. You're going to need to forgive yourself for not maybe standing up to the white supremacy when you were on the job and they said some craziness to you and you did not say anything back and you cowered down and you got mad and you held it in your body. You can remember the moment that you didn't say anything back. Or you got fired and you knew it was wrong and you didn't go fight it or report it to the EEOC. Or that moment when you were cut off in your car and you just looked and they stuck their finger up at you. And they might not have been white, they might have been Latino, they might have been Jewish, they might have been any, but I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not also racist. I believe in humanity. So it doesn't matter what color they are, they could be black. But you are feeling in this moment that it's this whole idea of race, hate, bigotry, misogyny, and every other word you can create in this moment that makes you feel like you're gonna just lose it. This is not just politics at play. It's you at play. Because as many times we look at a reel, the minute time we look at MSNBC here in the US, or we're looking at global news, the many times we tap into that and we don't breathe in, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. We are not going to realign. We are not going to let me calm down a little bit. We are not going to have reconciliation because we're going to be challenged every door we go in, every turn we make, every plane we get on. I got to travel to Africa in 25 at least 3 times. I got to meet my team. I got to go do some work. I'm having a conference in Africa. Nothing is stopping me. Nothing is stopping me. I got to go to the UK and set up Girl Go Be Great. I got to go to Africa, set up Girl Go Be Great. I'm going back to Canada, set up Girl Go Be Great, unless they close the borders and the planes don't fly. That's the only thing stopping me. Because you can't get across the water, not that far, without planes. Let's be clear. But nothing in me is going to stop me. So I got to do the work. I want everybody to write that down. I got to do the work. I got to do the work. And I can't get stuck inside of social, what I call sensationalism. Social sensationalism is a full throttle right now. So if anything, you might need to reconcile first how you digest your information flow. Consciousness. Remember, I want you to go research Dr. Michael Beckwith. I want you to go get his 7 layers or 7 steps of consciousness. I want you to start seeing where you are. Is life happening to you, for you, through you, about you, for others? You got to learn that in order to move in this new earth. Final. With Ho'oponopono. This is a meditation and it's a technique. When you use it, each statement you make, I'm sorry. I want you to sit and feel the whole way. Feel every word. Close in yourself, which sometimes you have to close off your visual, your optic. Close in yourself and I'm sorry. What it said, Dr. Hugh Lin did, that was so beautifully magical. He was able this was this was a powerful law of attraction. He was able to, I'm sorry, go within. And I'm sorry, moved out toward the mentally insane patients that he ran this whole asylum for. And his attraction to, I'm sorry, to people he didn't do anything to, started to heal them through his words. They started to vibrate. The frequency started to move outward. The universe, in all of its intelligence and its beauty, the heavens with all of its wisdom and its mightiness, started to come together and attract healing in those that it was said that they could never be healed, not even medicine. And it's said in the stories of Dr. Hugh Lin that the patients started to be let go. The patients started to heal miraculously, and they started to be let go one after the next. And this very simple 4 words, I'm sorry, go within, deep breath, feel every word, because here's the thing. Positive statements create positive outcomes. So if you vibrate this in a, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and you're doing it in that vein, there's no frequency, there's no vibration. So it doesn't move outward, it doesn't move up, it doesn't move beyond you. So you have to feel every word. You have to breathe in and out. Deep breath. It's called breath work. So I want you to research breath work. So when you get your dream into action box, guess what's in there? Ho'oponopono. An audio that I taught that will allow you to really learn it and really use it. And then final, before we let Erica come in, I call her Ari, and you'll learn why in a moment. In this moment, you're going to have to see and attract what you can't see. You have to trust processes that you've never, ever thought you were going to have to trust. You're going to have to lean in to some new concepts, new ideas. And this is one. Deep breath work allows your body to bring in the idea and expand it to release from the body so that the body catch hold of what's going on in the universe. And it attracts back to you what you give out to it. It also allows the body to realign. Deep breaths work. Why they say breathe when a person is having an anxiety moment or a panic moment. Breathe. And right now, self-love. So we're going to organize that with Erica. Ari, I invited her into this moment. You can come off of mute. Jessica, bring Ari off of mute. And I want to allow her to tell who she is, what she do in the world. And I'm going to let her take you out of this moment in a way that you get to use Ho'oponopono, learning that and applying what she has to bring you, which is yummy. Oh my God. You will feel a frequency and a vibration. And I'm sure that tonight you could go thinking, okay, Lord, I can dream into action. So, Ari, I want to give the floor to you. Let the world know who you are. Are you off mute? Okay, Jessica. Let me see where everybody's at and why you're not off mute. Okay, sounds like I hear you. Say something. Okay, you're not off mute. You might have to go out and come back in.
I think I'm good.
You're good now.
Yes.
Hey.
Thank you. Hi. So nice to see you. Looking
It's so
fabulous
nice to
as
see
always.
you.
Yes.
Tell everyone who you are.
Yeah. So oh, there's my cat. Okay.
Love it.
So
Heard all about him.
yeah. So one thing, I'm I'm an energy worker, and I'll explain that. But one thing about doing energy work, there's a saying that cats are the best energy workers, just from their history in Egypt and everything. So it's kind of funny because I was like, once the energy work starts, or once we start talking about this, I'm sure the cat will come over. So here's our guest to support us.
I see.
Yeah. He's just hanging out. But yes, I'm Erica. I am also known as Eri. I am one of, can I tell them about me being just, yeah. So
Absolutely.
um Miss Lori is Miss Lori because she is Mom Lori to me. We go way back. Her daughter and I went to college together. We've had some times together. And one of the things I always say about Miss Lori is that she's always told me, "Ari, are you over there kicking rocks?" Like she's always had to kind of check in with me and make sure that I'm um staying afloat with my dreams. And she's been doing that with me since I was, I don't know, maybe like 20 years old, 19 years old. And here we are now, even though I don't look like it, but almost, I'm 35 now. So for some years, Miss Lori, you've been telling me this. Um, how can I, if anyone is like unfamiliar with energy work, I can tell you it's not Reiki, but what we do is just help people come back to yourself. At least that's what
Mhm,
I do. That's my
mhm,
specialty. I help you use your breath, whether it's through meditation or it's just conscious, intentional breath work, just to bring yourself back home. One of the things that Miss Lori talked about is, what if this election was a trigger? Right. And that immediately, like, lit me up because that's the basis of my work. The basis of my work is always, are you acting out in authenticity? Are you doing something that is aligned with who you really are and your actual thoughts versus what you think you should be feeling,
mhm.
versus what society has told you you should feel, versus what generationally you have carried? And so now you just, it's just in your DNA to feel this way. Um, my hope is that my work will continue to expand and help others really just chime into their authentic voice, to where it's not even a practice, to where it's just a lifestyle. We don't even remember when we were afraid to use our voice. And now we're not speaking about fighting. We're not speaking about being rude, nasty, or mean, right? We're speaking about literally um being authentic to who we are, and knowing who we are when we interact and engage with other people. So I would say, as an energy worker, the practice is to help others see where they are in life, how their actions and how they show up affect those around them, and then how does that, almost like, how does that reflect to them, and how does this keep you from achieving the goals that you have?
That is when y'all ready. I was ready. I was ready to go. I was ready to get. I was ready to dive in a pool and just
Yeah,
go. Whoo! I want to breathe. I want to
yeah,
be intentional. So you see how we were able to, for everyone that's still with us, we were able to come together collectively just in that instance.
mhm,
When you're vibrating in a certain frequency, there are others vibrating in that same frequency. So you'll have to wait a little bit, do the work, and they'll appear.
yeah.
Right? You agree with that?
Yeah, and then there's that conversation about when we say dimming your light. Um, a lot of our stories and our experiences, it tends to like build up over this light or our aura, our energetic field. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
layer on top of a layer, a blanket on top of a blanket on top of a blanket, and our people can't see us. Our tribe, they don't know where we are. Our community does not know where we are because we have all of this other stuff just laying on top of us. We're just walking around with it every single day. So that is why you do the inner work, you know, and it's more about actually doing the work than using the buzzwords and the performative action. And performative action is saying, I'm not going to let people dim my light. I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay, but do you really know what you wanna do? These are the
Mhm.
questions. So we ask ourselves these questions, and that's why I like to pair energy work with journaling, because sometimes, most of the time, I'm in session, I'm like, is that what you thought? Like, are you sure? And you know what? Most of the time, people really sit back and say, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. And I think that's okay. We have to be okay with not knowing.
So right there, I just saw a comment, so I'm gonna dive right in. It goes right with the notes. Energy work, Natural Ground One says, the great form of self care. We will need to shift. We will need this to shift our energy often. That's moving forward to move forward. So as
Mhm,
Ari and I are talking, I don't know.
mhm.
So the thing to run to when you don't know is what? What do you run to when you don't know? Okay, so I'll start with me. So when I don't know, I run to don't play with me. I'm not doing it. I'm a girl from the projects. She's still being in works. She's going to be in works, I believe, now to the day she passes from this earthly realm. I finally have reconciled that. But the more I do, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and do it the proper way, I reconcile, I realign, I ground. And so, Ari and I, let's go deeper. So, this energy is trapped right now. So,
Okay.
it's trapped. So, it has Black women saying, I'm sitting back on this one. I'm
Mhm,
headed out of the country. Now,
mhm.
some women who are saying that are just attaching to what's happening because she doesn't even have a passport. And that didn't mean, and I didn't mean that anywhere, anyway, other than to hold you in a space of love, of being in realness. So if you haven't traveled abroad and you haven't seen what abroad travel looks like, I did not like Turkey. I thought I was going to love Turkey, right? I felt so alone in Turkey, and I don't get alone, feel like that, but only in my 50s. So I started
Yeah.
to feel like when I was a girl. So that girl energy was trapped when I felt alone. So I'm in Turkey. I had a
Mhm.
alone feeling that had been trapped in my body. So Turkey triggered it, and I was ready to go. When you talking about beautiful, the airport, I could have just stayed in the airport and all this new technology, these bubbles. Jessica had me all ready. I ended up getting flim flam by the girl with exchange of money. I had a good time doing it. I saw all of the, all of the real Gucci, all of the top stuff. And I was in that moment like, I should be running through here just loving it up. My
Mhm.
energy was trapped because I started to not like the people. I was on planes. I was on a plane to Turkey for 22 hours. And I can remember how I was feeling. The people were not very humanity. And when I got there, they made it known that you, lady, why are you here?
Mhm.
But I went on and pushed through it. But to tell you the truth, I had a bold dream of Turkey. But after I realigned, I was able to let go of Turkey. No Turkey for me, right? I saw a lot of women had plastic surgery. I was wondering what was going on. I mean, it was bruised faces and people in slings. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, yeah. This is where the real plastic surgery is happening. But I know when I thought it through, when I said it and got out of my defective intelligence, they were amazed at my beautiful skin, my color, my hair. It didn't hit me at first because I didn't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't know. So, Aaron, that energy couldn't flow for me. So Jessica says, you are going to miss your tour. I was like, I'm not going on no tour.
Mm.
I just big beautiful tour. I was ready to go the next day. I didn't even want to stay the next day.
Yeah. You
Okay.
know, that brings me to something I wrote that down earlier when you said Black women are tired, but it's also tying into something else. Um, I noticed Black women saying that they were stepping out,
Yep.
and I was confused because I also was like, now, don't don't cancel me or be mad with me, but I was like, well, when did they call us? Because did we assume the
Mm.
call, or did they call us? Cause or did we take it on our backs and say that
Mm-hmm.
is ours and we're gonna get this done? Did we do that?
Mm.
Or did they do that? Like, please let me know when someone came to me specifically and said, this is what you need to do as a Black woman. No one did that for me. And so, one, that's a good point of like sovereignty. Having sovereignty, being in your own mind and your own thoughts, and actually being aware of what's really happening and what we are assuming and what we are allowing to just be put on us. And that, I
That's
think,
good.
is what Black women are tired of. Black
Mhm.
women are not tired because they signed up, and they gave their money and their time and their love and their efforts to this campaign. Black women are tired in life. Like, they're
Mhm.
tired of not being seen, not being heard, or when you are seen, people want to admire your skin, your lips, like as if you're some sort of toy or doll. When those
Mhm.
people see you, that's what Black women are probably tired of. And this was just a trigger of like just another time. Because guess what? When I spoke to different people, different women, they would tell me stories about their job, or
Mhm.
a time where a friend of theirs, where a friend of theirs experienced something like this. And I'm like, yeah, but
Mhm.
this is not that, like, yes, this it may have the same threads,
Mhm.
right? But it's not the exact thing. And I feel that a lot of us took this, and we were looking for an out. People were looking to be angry, not about the campaign, but just about life. Life is
Yes.
hard. And
Yes.
and and you said something early. We rarely take moments to pause.
Yeah.
And then there are people like me who send you emails, once a month, whatever, and I tell
Mhm.
you to breathe, and I tell you, "Hey, are you checking in with yourself to see if that's yours?" And people are like, "What are you talking about? I don't need to do that. Why?" And then you see how we are so dysregulated
Mhm.
when something major happens. And no one is speaking of, hey, everyone, maybe we need to bring it back a little bit. Everybody's just angry and saying they don't want to do this anymore. And literally, like you said, it's Fannie Lou, it's your
Mhm.
grandma, it's your great grandmother, it's
Mhm.
all of these women who have been looked to solve a problem. But we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to, and I
Mhm.
hope that this time we can really see. And I have to say as well, I saw that photo of Kamala having a good time playing a game, and I said, "Good for her."
Yes. I
I
saw
said,
the same
because
photo.
if something were to happen, it would, and she got into office, this Black woman would have had to take all of the blame. She would have been the
Every
scapegoat.
bit.
And I thought, well, at least my friend gets to keep her hair. Keep keep your edges, girl. Keep your edges. Because
Let's
whether
stop
we
right.
yeah, go ahead.
No, you finish that point because I'm just going to roll in. It's perfect
Okay.
because I had this on a. This is perfect. This is a code. Remember, we
Yes.
talked earlier. New earth, new
Yes.
codes.
Mhm. New codes and new templates. Absolutely.
Mhm. So I interrupted you and I apologize.
No.
So it's just formulating over here. So when I saw the photo,
Mhm.
I thought, what a smile. I I knew she'd been wanting to put that hair in a bun for a long time.
Put that sweatshirt on. Hang
I
out with
was, if
family.
everyone is catching this, what we're saying right now, her energy looked unbothered. But go back 2 days prior, her energy was stifled when she couldn't come out in front of the people at Howard University and
Mhm.
she couldn't give that speech at that moment because everything, as Ari is talking, her energy was not in movement.
Mm.
We would not have wanted that speech that night. No one could hold that speech. No one had a place for her to land. She did what a professional, powerful, brilliant woman does. She made her own decision. And her husband helped, and I'm sure whoever right and on right hands are, they decided this was a great decision, and she was talked about because of that decision. So you're going to be talked about for the decision you make in this moment. My decision is to not surrender, but to rest. And what I mean by rest, I'm going to rest in the idea that I'm called for such a moment as this. I'm going to rest in that idea that no one made me do anything. I had free will, as Ari discussed. I joined Win with Black Women. I enjoyed the Sunday night calls. I met senators. I met the women who are going to be the first Black of the 3 Black women senators here in the U.S. And I was praying for them because the work ahead. So it goes back to what Ari said. Kamala Harris, that race, that moment, I believe now, after doing all the work, remember the work we've been talking about, expanding my mind, reframing, she dodged a bullet. She dodged the biggest bullet. She would have never overcome Gaza and had nothing to do with it. She would have never overcome. And I know she wanted to say things because she's an empathetic woman. I saw the moment she wanted to say, killing these people is wrong.
That's what I was going to say.
Treaty with the Palestinians. We have a treaty with Israel that's been in place for 30 years now because they helped us with Russia. People hadn't done the research. She couldn't say it. She was locked. And to see her locked was to see how we're locked. So it goes back to Ari when she says that I said that this was a trigger. Not that we want to be angry, but we have already had these layers.
Yeah.
We have portals open, unresolved matters within the heart. And lastly, I'll say this on my mine went to practice today. So it's Veterans Day. I'm a veteran. My husband's a disabled veteran, and he gets the check and he gets the benefits, and so I'm on his. So we go out. Jessica says, "I want to take you out to lunch today, Mom." And I thought about that thing. I said, "Take me to lunch on Veterans Day? I get free lunch on Veterans Day." It didn't hit me at first until she did a snap. So why is that important, everyone? It's important because it was fun. I went to lunch. I did not cower down. I took my Veterans Benefit Day, gathered my husband up. But here's where it gets interesting. Ho'oponopono. The ideal of not being angry, doing the energy work, coming back to myself, as Ari said, breathing, conscious, being intentional that every white face I saw was not going to be an enemy. Did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for the end of democracy? Did you? Oh, that's why you're over here getting a tip from me. I had to dismantle that. I want everyone to write that. Dismantle. Open up the portal for love. If you don't, you might not build that next $1 million business. It's going to be tied to love. And I'm not saying tied to abuse, because I saw a video where a white guy, happened to be a white guy, could have been a black guy, but it happened to be a white guy, was screaming in the face of a woman. She might have been in the city, and he was completely covered over her. Well, the law says we have the right to bear arms. Be good, be okay with it, that you need to protect yourself if that's what you really feel. But do know that if you practice, I'm sorry, let the energy flow. Please forgive me, let the energy flow. Thank you, let the energy flow. I love you, let the energy flow. Laws of attraction will attract that vibrational atmosphere that you need in this moment to keep reconciling and keep realigning. Because here's my thought, and I'm gonna let Ari tie us up, and I'm gonna let her spend the next 3 to 5 minutes tying us up without my interruption. My final thought is this: I believe they're going to self-destruct. Y'all heard the song? For those of you who are in Africa, you're in the UK, I know you've heard it. Self-destruction. You make that song. 012 is one of the old rappers. Self destruction, Malcolm X said, when the rooster come home to crow. A country that will kill its own president, John F. Kennedy. Not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do, what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you. These people are here for what the country can do for them. There is going to be an uprising, but it will be one that we don't have to touch. What we have to do, and what I've downloaded, is we got to do this work Ari about to tell you. This collective resilience, this collective strength made of ease, balance, and flow, like Dina Corbin Hajadina says. It's easy, girls. It's flowing. If you want to leave the country, leave. But don't think you're invited anywhere, because you still carry you with you.
Yeah.
Many people talked about it at the Olympics this year. You know how much tickets cost to go to the Olympic? You know what happened at the Olympics? There was racism, misogyny, there was division. There was lots of reports that came out of Paris this year. This is a global healing required. Ari, I want you to tie us up with what you believe we need. Help us get there. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. We're going to put some stuff on the screen on how to reach Ari, get you a session set up, because I don't do energy work, even though it might sound like I know a little something.
Ready?
The floor is yours. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to do something very quickly, and I'm just going to invite everyone to, you can either close your eyes or just have them very low. But again, we just want to take a moment to connect. And I'm going to ask you to place your hand over your heart. And I just want you to feel your heartbeat. Like, seriously feel your heart beating in your chest. And recognize that that heartbeat is not just yours. It's a heartbeat of those who came before you, of all those women that we've talked about, the ones who were tired and they kept going anyway, the ones who stood in line, who went to the back of the bus, who voted when even when they didn't feel like it was going to result in anything, but they were just proud to be there. All of those women, the ones who carried you, who nursed you, they're there in your chest. Our bodies are not just our bodies. Our bodies, we share them with our ancestors. And so in this moment, we are going to say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
Inhale. And breathe out. And we're going to go again. Staying connected to that heartbeat. Staying connected to those who came before us. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I love you.
I love you.
Sit with them. Sit with your heartbeat. Allow your heartbeat to tell you a story. It may be one of pain. It could be one of forgiveness. Maybe it's really, really deep, deep sorrow or a lot of joy. Whatever it may be, we're going to say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I love you.
I love you.
And we're just going to take a deep breath, wiggling our toes, and coming back to this moment. I think it's really important that we acknowledge our ancestors. We talk about them, we've called on them this week, but when have we sat with them? When's the last time we sat with them? So we're going to tell them we're sorry. We're going to ask them for forgiveness. And we're going to say thank you. And we're also going to say, I love you. And we're going to sit in that. Maybe we can journal about it. Maybe you might have more to share with Miss Lori at another time. But I just want you guys to remember, you ladies, before we keep calling on ancestral wisdom, we keep calling out to them, saying we're fed up. Let's really remember them and their stories. Let's really connect with them. But also, let's give ourselves permission to put their stories down. That was heavy. Ashe. Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm feeling a little. Girl Greatness, it's been my pleasure. I'm actually a little tongue-tied. I took that moment to feel my heart beat. I want you to reach out to Ari, live Ari, live Ari, live Ari. So beautiful. I just love the work she does. And I'm about to take her on the road with me globally and pack up her children with her and tell her husband, listen here. Because I believe that we need each other collectively in this collective moment, this very old version of what has been. We've entered into a new version of what has to be and what can be. And we'll have to relearn, we'll have to unlearn mainly. This may be very new to you. You may come across this video, and I thank you for just stopping. Please subscribe, share it with your girlfriends. We're going to be rocking and rolling over here in 25. There's a lot of shifts that are underway for Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company. With every new opportunity, there's a new version of you, your company that's born. Liv Irie, I want to welcome her to this moment with me again. Thank you. You are just brilliant in what you do. Just that moment alone just continues to confirm with me. So I'll be sending you a don't kick rock message. Yeah. The world needs you in it. And someone just scan your QR code. And I want you to get that code and get your session and get template, get whatever you need. For those of you who are looking forward to the Dream into Action box, Jessica, I need you to reach out to Liv Irie and talk to her on a business level about adding something in the box. I know we got to get this box out. If I add one more thing in this box, but I have to go with what I know. Wherever this landed in your body tonight, whatever showed up, whatever you grabbed, whatever you held on to, that's yours. Ari said it earlier. That's yours. Go pass that out to the world. Go post that on your social. Help shift the collective of women, because in this moment, we're going to need each other on a vibrational plane, on a frequency that is going to recorrect the earth realm. We're connected globally, and this is not just a one-off. So I hope that what we did tonight help you get some insight, help you get even a reflection, help you in hopes later have a breakthrough. You don't have to be validated here, accepted or approved. It is just our hope for healing. So we're going to be talking as a team. We're getting ready to take Dream into Action into the December. We'll be announcing our new speakers, and some of our previous speakers will be joining us. Thank Jessica, who our operations manager, said that we must come back in December. December is a heavy month for a lot of women. And then it'll be just a little more condensed. And then we'll be going on the road in 25 to help women dream into action with a lot of excitement. Because if you've never been to a Lori Pelzer event, you're in for a treat. Ari, we look forward to doing more work with you in 25. We look forward to doing some real work. You can't get away now. I've seen all I need to see. Girl greatness.
Thank you, Miss Lori.
You're welcome. Kiss the kids for me and your husband, and for all of you who here, and for those of you who I can't see because you joined on Facebook, the stream on LinkedIn, wherever you found the stream through the email community. I want you to know that what story you're about to tell, don't let someone push you into a story. You get to choose. You get to choose. Rest, my sister, if you must. Surrender, I implore you to not. And in the meantime, girl, you go be great. Jessica, if you do put that link here, if you can go ahead and you can click the link and go over and get your form filled out. The Dreamers box is going to be open and debuting tomorrow. Yes. You get an opportunity. There will be pillows. I'm sitting on one. You get to sit on your pillow while you're in your office. You get to kind of lay on your pillow while you're in this is a lay on pillow. Hey, girl greatness. Some of the things I normally say to women when I say, hey, right? It's free to access the form. You'll get an opportunity to get a discount code. This is a special limited box. We will definitely have these boxes out to you at the end of November. We will also be moving the box into the holiday season. You're going to love the work. It's fun work. It's audio listening. It's allowing you to go into a program to get what you need to learn on the go. If you choose to, add me into the box with some live work with me, that price point is $3.99. And if you choose to get your box with your digital products and your other tangibles, candle, your planner, all of that good stuff, you will then pay $1.99. This box is not a subscription box. So when the site opens tomorrow, you'll get to read all about it. Go ahead and get your box, your pre-order in. We're going to do some unboxing activities. So we got a lot planned going into the new year. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Do you have any questions about the box? you'll be able to get those questions answered. Just simply send an email. You'll see that there on our page tomorrow when we open up. But the box is incredibly yummy. The box, when I want to close out here, a lot of us, just a moment for me. Okay. Well, what we want to do, we'll take that down. My team was just letting me know. I want everyone to simply just hold tight. It's going to the wrong page. Okay. My goodness. Okay. Okay, so you can do the opt-in from there. Okay. Okay, so there's a free form. Just go and click that link. It takes you to a different page. Something got twisted there. Okay, link. I see someone is asking for the link. So just do the QR code there. So Jessica, can you put the link? In just a moment, let me talk to the team to make sure. Here's what you want to do. You want to click the QR code. You will be sent over to the Dream into Action Summit page. On that page, just fill out the one that says get your free access pass. Get your free access pass. So when you get your free access pass, that's all you need to do. You drive into our community and we will send you a code tomorrow because you're part of the Girl Go Be Great community. Does that make sense? Okay. My tongue got tied. So you just go click that particular opt-in for the special promo. You'll be over at the Dream into Action Summit page, and then you'll get an opportunity just to click free access pass, and it takes about 30 seconds. Okay. So we'll be sending you a code, and during that code, right, getting that code tomorrow will give you additional, it's going to be a special code with a special pricing that you can get to get your pre-order, to get your first Dreamers box. We got some other women that we got to get their boxes ready for them too. So get excited about the Dreamers box. So when the page opens, you'll get to see everything that's in the box, and you'll get to go in and make your order, and you all set, and you just sit back and get ready to dream into action. We're excited about this box, and we're excited about you having it. So make sure you get your free access pass, and you just fill out the information. It takes literally 1 minute, right? So you'll go over to that page here with the links, and then you'll have an opportunity to fill out, get your free access pass. When you get that pass, you're in the system, and then we will know, and then our team will take it from there, and we'll get you a code. And then when we drop tomorrow, you get an opportunity to have a special code so you can order your box with additional percentage off. Pretty excited. Any questions, comments, or thoughts, feel free to email my office, support@lauriepelzer.com. Support@lauriepelzer.com. If you truly believe that you need additional help during this period, don't just wait on it. Go for it. Okay. Ari, I believe it's not working. Okay, it's not working. The link's not working. So, maybe I see what's going on, Jessica. The link is coming in with the get your free access pass. There you go. So that should work now. You don't want it just got caught up in there. There you go. So all you'll get, you just click that link and you'll be in good shape. You just fill out the free access pass, so that'll let the system will put you in, and again, we will send you a code. I hope every one of you the best of what life can offer. As I continue to heal, I wish you healing. I wish you grounding. I wish you resilience. I wish you an idea of what your future can be. I wish you love. I wish you a high vibration. I wish you the wholeness of what I know we got to hold on to. I wish you the idea of greatness. It will cost you something. And in this moment, reach out for sister love. Choose you, but also choose humanity. We can't do it without us choosing each other and choosing humanity. Girl Greatness, it's been my pleasure serving each of you tonight. I hope that you came and you left with a new perspective on a few things, and that if you put some of these ideas into place, you will see some change, some expansion. And I look forward to being a part of your life in the Dream into Action. And we'll be announcing what we're doing in December. And then as we go into 25, you'll get to follow us along that journey. Thank you. Great night. And girl, you go be great.